As you already know, we are Rodrigo,
Estefania,
Antoine.
and we welcome you to this edition of Ymsf. On this beautiful Saturday morning, we have a very important topic, and I dare to say it is a very important one currently. The Great South China Sea. This region is located 1,000 kilometers south of China and 500 kilometers east of Taiwan, and is able to offer delicious seafood, has beautiful natural reserves that provide oil to the world, and it has been disputed by rival countries in recent years. But what is happening to it?
well, it's indeed a serious matter. 6 nations, China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Brunei, have competing claims over this territory. Certainly, tension has been increasing in the recent years, creating potential global consequences. Antoine?
I would like to say that this territory has a lot to offer. It is mainly composed of sea, natural resources, and 2 islands chains called the Parcels and Spratel. And this does not include the rocky outcrops, atolls, sandbanks, and reefs, such as the Scarborough Shoals. So we are mainly talking about a dispute over shipping routes and fishing grounds.
Exactly, although they are not inhabited, the parcels and the Spratels are likely to have a lot of resources to supply people across the region, due to the lack of detailed exploration of them. But as estimate tells us that this region is promising. What are the claims of these nations that you mentioned?
Overall, China claims most of the territory up to date with the so-called 9-dash line that goes south and east from this republic. It has backed up these expensive claims with island building and naval portals. Certainly, this has brought the USA attention to the South China Sea due to the severity of China's action.
China states that it is a right they have due to its historic events. It is said that in 1947, both of the island chains, the Parcels and the Spratels, belonged to the Chinese nation. This is shown in several maps, and proves that the sovereignty of these 2 island groups once belonged to China.
China.
So that means that Taiwan has the same claims?
Unfortunately, yes, both of them have the same claims over the territory.
But I do not consider this reason a bad one. That was approximately 70 years ago. I do not see how that is relevant nowadays. But well, let's continue. I am well aware that Vietnam is completely against China's claims. Vietnam says that China had never claimed sovereignty over those islands, and that Vietnam has ruled over both islands since the 17th century, proving it with official documents.
Both of the Philippines and China claim part of the Scarborough Shoal, also known as Guanyang Island, that makes Philippines' claim a major one. So this uses its geographical proximity to the Spratly Island as a basis of this argument.
Adding up to the problem, Malaysia and Brunei claim the territory since it is within their economic exclusion zones. Brunei does not claim any of the islands, on the other hand. Malaysia does, stating that they deserve a small portion of the Spratels.
Alright, I see now this is a matter of international community. Let's go even further into the repercussions of this situation. It has been brought to my attention that there is a political disagreement between these 6 nations. They are still not able to develop a fair resolution to all the countries involved, especially if China refuses to negotiate terms on the claims to seek a common solution with the ASEAN.
Indeed, caused by the flashpoint of the situation, a social crisis is growing among the population of each country involved. The citizens only know the severity of their present meaning, as in, they don't know what is going to happen. This uncertainty has shaped the daily lives of thousands, even millions of innocent people. The chaos, the panic, and the doubt don't help to focus on what really is important to solve.
I consider this a critical point. China's actions provoke the refusal of other nations to negotiate with it. In spite of all the resources that the area offers, this is a big cultural and a political problem that prevents the creation of an agreement internationally talking. If a country has all the control over the area, it will become powerful and it will unequal the treaty that the ASEAN already established.
So what possible solutions have we, considering that the situation to negotiate is not actually like the best one?
I have invited a friend of my own to answer that specific question. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the international relations expert, Raul Garibay.
One thing is clear. This problem needs a solution as soon as possible. We have come up with a lot of great ideas. We should consider the regulations of international borders and waters. This will limit each country to their own patriarchy. Therefore, no country can act upon these waters without a special trade given by the United Nations. First, if the dispute is still present by this point, we need to consider assigning equal territory to the 6 countries. This resolution will need regulations and the establishment of clear exclusion zones for economical purposes. Next, we need to be sure that any conflict of this type is solved correctly, so a collaboration between the International Court of Justice and the Economic and Social Council will be ideal. This will take into consideration both solutions and provide a greater feedback on the situation to make a better decision. Personally, I believe this conflict has no close solution, because since there are a lot of conflict of interest and so many natural resources involved, countries are not willing to give up on them, due to the severe repercussions on their economy. The most likely scenario will be that China keeps all the territory included in the 9-dash line, but not in a peaceful manner. Philippines and other countries that have strong connections with the United States will ask for a backup, and that will mean an armed conflict that perhaps could result in Third World War. Thank you.
Wow, those are some big words, I think. What do you think about these solutions, Steffi?
Well, that Rahul said is true. If all the countries involved in the conflict don't get soon to an agreement, this will most likely to result in a war. That will be completely terrifying for all the citizens in each country, since this would affect their entire lives.
I completely agree with those statements. Another big aspect that could ease the negotiation would be to make a renewable energy sources race all along the international community, so that the natural resources such as the natural gas and oil are no longer an aspect that worsens the dispute. Although it sounds long and not that easily to apply, it is certainly one of the only ways to prevent or even stop all this country.
Well, from all the members of Ymsf, we hope that this conflict reaches to a solution as fast as they can. See you next week. Have a nice